Welcome to this video where I'll be sharing my personal knowledge and experiences with you. Today, we're about to uncover a secret that few people are aware of, the Akashic Records. Join me as we dive deep into this mystical realm, and together, we'll explore the hidden truths and transformative wisdom that await. Trust me, this is a journey you don't want to miss. The Cosmic Archive, the Akashic Records. For centuries, across time and space, seekers, mystics, and sages have whispered of a hidden library, a vast cosmic archive where the entire history of the universe, from the first breath of creation to the infinite potential of all that is yet to come, is preserved. This archive, known as the Akashic Records, is not a static library confined by walls or shelves. It is alive, pulsating with energy, holding the imprints of every thought, every action, every soul's journey through the ages. It is a field of consciousness, a cosmic memory, not of mere facts or figures, but of the very essence of existence itself. Within this mystical archive, every soul's journey is recorded in vivid detail: the joys, the sorrows, the challenges, the victories, and the lessons. These records are not bound by the constraints of time as we know it. They transcend linear existence. The past, present, and even the future possibilities are all accessible within the Akashic Records. It is a place where one can glimpse the deepest truths of the universe, where the boundaries between what is known and unknown dissolve, and where the mysteries of life unfold before your eyes. But how can one access this vast repository of wisdom and truth? How can we, mere mortals, tap into this cosmic library that holds the keys to understanding not just our past lives, but our soul's purpose, our karmic patterns, and even the potential future we are shaping with every decision? It is said that accessing the Akashic Records is not about reading a book. It is about tuning into a higher frequency, a frequency where knowledge flows like a river, waiting to be received by those whose hearts and minds are open to its flow. The records are often perceived symbolically during deep meditation or prayer. For some, the records appear as a grand library, filled with books, scrolls, and endless halls. For others, they appear as visions, intuitive downloads, or direct knowing. The way the Akashic Records present themselves to the seeker is as unique as the seeker's own soul, adapting to their consciousness and their needs. And it is through this deep, inner exploration that we begin to uncover the profound truths that lay hidden in the depths of time. The universal connection, a living field of consciousness. The Akashic Records are not merely a collection of static facts or dry information. They are a living, breathing, dynamic field of consciousness. It is said that everything in the universe is interconnected, and the Akashic Records are the place where these connections are etched into the very fabric of existence. Every thought, every action, every intention we have leaves an imprint in this vast cosmic memory. The records are a reflection of the interconnectedness of all beings, each soul's journey intertwined with others in a dance of cosmic significance. Imagine for a moment that every action, no matter how small, reverberates through the universe, creating ripples in the Akashic field. These ripples are not lost. They are preserved for eternity, giving us the opportunity to reflect on our actions, choices, and their far-reaching effects. This field of consciousness is not just a passive archive. It is an active, ever-evolving entity that reflects the ongoing journey of every soul. The Akashic Records are a constant dialogue between the soul and the universe. They are a conversation that invites us to ask deeper questions about our purpose, our choices, and the lessons we are meant to learn. When we tap into the Akashic Records, we are not only accessing knowledge, but we are engaging with a living, interactive field. This is where the true beauty lies. The records are not a finished story, but an ongoing narrative that evolves with us as we continue on our journey of self-discovery and growth. Every new choice, every new action we take sends a new signal into the field, allowing the records to evolve with us. The Akashic Records serve as a reminder that we are not isolated beings moving through the world, but part of a vast, interconnected web of existence. They invite us to remember the truth of our interconnectedness, and through that remembrance, to approach the world with greater compassion, understanding, and love. The Akashic Records and the path to self-discovery. When we speak of the Akashic Records, we are not merely referring to a mystical realm or a spiritual concept. we are speaking of a tool for self-discovery and personal transformation. To access the Akashic Records is to embark on a journey inward, a journey to the very heart of who we are and why we are here. The records offer us a map of our soul's journey, showing us the path we have walked, the lessons we have learned, and the challenges we have faced. They provide a blueprint for understanding our soul's purpose and the deeper motivations behind our actions. But more than this, the Akashic Records offer us a vision of our highest potential, the person we are meant to become, the soul we are destined to be. Through the Akashic Records, we can gain insight into the patterns that have shaped our lives, the karmic debts we are working to resolve, and the unresolved wounds that still affect us. These records serve as a mirror, reflecting not just who we have been, but who we can become. They allow us to see ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as powerful creators of our own destiny. The Akashic Records also serve as a guide, offering us wisdom and clarity when we face difficult decisions or challenges in our lives. They provide us with the tools we need to navigate life's twists and turns, showing us the way forward with greater awareness and confidence. Accessing the records is not about seeking answers from an external source, but about discovering the answers that are already within us. As we learn to tap into the Akashic Records, we begin to realize that the path to self-discovery is not a solitary one. We are all connected to one another, and the wisdom we gain from the records is not just for our own benefit, but for the benefit of all. Through the records, we gain a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all life, and in doing so, we come to understand the true nature of love, compassion, and service. The mysteries of time and space, the Akashic Records beyond time. One of the most profound aspects of the Akashic Records is their ability to transcend the limitations of time and space. The records exist outside of the confines of our earthly perceptions of time. In the Akashic field, the past, present, and future are not separate, but are intricately woven together, forming a seamless tapestry of existence. When we access the Akashic Records, we are able to see not just the events that have already occurred, but also the potential paths that could unfold based on the choices we make. The Akashic field is not a static record of history. It is a living, breathing field that responds to the present moment and the energy we bring to it. It is a dynamic system, one that reflects the ongoing flow of creation and transformation that occurs with every moment. This is where the concept of free will and the Akashic Records intersect. While the records hold the imprints of everything that has happened, they are not fixed in stone. The future is not a predetermined fate, but a collection of possibilities that are influenced by the decisions we make in the present. Every choice we make sends ripples through the Akashic field, creating new patterns and shaping the course of our lives. In this way, the Akashic Records offer us not just a glimpse into what has been, but also into what could be. They show us the potential of our soul's journey and the infinite paths that lie before us. They are not merely a reflection of our past actions, but also a map of the countless possibilities that await us as we continue to evolve and grow. Accessing the Akashic Records can provide clarity on how the choices we make today will impact our future. It can help us understand the larger patterns at play in our lives and offer us the guidance we need to make decisions that are in alignment with our highest purpose. The records serve as a reminder that while the past may shape who we are, it is the present moment that holds the power to create the future. The Akashic Records and the healing of the soul. Beyond the knowledge and wisdom that the Akashic Records offer, one of their greatest gifts is their ability to facilitate deep healing. The records are a sacred space where we can confront the wounds of our past, understand the patterns that have kept us stuck, and begin the process of releasing what no longer serves our highest good. Healing through the Akashic Records is not just about finding answers to our questions or uncovering past life memories. It is about understanding the deeper roots of our struggles and transforming them into opportunities for growth. The records allow us to see the bigger picture, to understand that the challenges we face are not random, but part of our soul's journey toward greater understanding, compassion, and love. In the Akashic field, we are able to access the energy of forgiveness both for ourselves and for others. We can heal the wounds of the past and release any karmic debts that may be weighing us down. The records offer us a chance to free ourselves from the burdens we carry, to let go of old traumas, fears, and negative patterns, and to step into a new chapter of our lives. The healing power of the Akashic records lies in their ability to reveal the truth of who we are, divine, infinite beings of light and love. When we access the records, we are reminded of our true nature, and through that reminder, we are able to heal and align with our highest potential. The records serve as a spiritual mirror, reflecting not just our wounds, but also the divine light that resides within us. Healing through the Akashic records is not a quick fix, but a profound, transformative process. It requires patience, openness, and a willingness to face the parts of ourselves that we may have been avoiding. But as we engage with the records, we are guided toward greater self-awareness and a deeper sense of peace. The role of compassion and service in the Akashic records. One of the most profound aspects of the Akashic records is their ability to guide us toward greater compassion and service. As we tap into the records, we are reminded that we are not isolated beings, but part of a vast, interconnected web of life. The Akashic field reflects this interconnectedness, showing us how every action, thought, and intention ripples out into the world, touching others in ways we may never fully understand. The records invite us to step beyond our individual concerns and recognize that our lives are part of a larger, cosmic tapestry. They encourage us to look beyond the ego and see the greater good, to recognize that our purpose is not just about personal success or achievement, but about serving the world and contributing to the greater good of all beings. This shift in perspective is not always easy. We live in a world that often values individual success, competition, and accumulation. But the Akashic records show us that true fulfillment comes not from personal gain, but from the deep satisfaction that comes from helping others, from living a life of purpose, and from making a positive impact on the world. Accessing the Akashic records helps us to see the bigger picture. It allows us to understand that every challenge we face, every difficulty we endure, is an opportunity to grow and evolve. It reminds us that the most meaningful and lasting change comes not from striving for material wealth or recognition, but from cultivating love, compassion, and service in our lives. The records also offer a powerful reminder that we are all teachers and students in this journey of life. We are all here to learn from one another, to support each other, and to help each other grow. By accessing the Akashic records, we are able to see how our souls are intertwined with others and how our actions affect the larger web of life. This understanding inspires us to act with greater care, kindness, and generosity, knowing that every thought, word, and action we take contributes to the collective consciousness. Akashic records and the global awakening. As we move into a new era, one marked by rapid change, deep uncertainty, and unprecedented potential, the Akashic records have the potential to play a greater role in the spiritual awakening of humanity. The records are not just an ancient concept reserved for the mystics or the chosen few. They are a tool for the collective awakening of humanity. As more and more people learn to access the Akashic field, we begin to see that the knowledge contained within it is not just for the individual, but for the entire human race. The Akashic records hold the wisdom of the ages, the experiences of every soul that has ever lived. They offer us insight into the deeper truths of existence, truths that transcend the limitations of the material world and connect us to the divine essence that runs through all things. As we access the Akashic records, we gain a deeper understanding of our place in the universe, our role in the grand cosmic dance. The more people who learn to access the records, the greater the potential for humanity to awaken to its true purpose. This is not just an individual journey, it is a collective one. The Akashic records offer us the guidance we need to navigate the challenges of our time and to step into our highest potential as a species. In this new era, the Akashic records could serve as a guiding force for leadership, education, healing, and creativity. Imagine a world where leaders consult not only experts and data, but also the deep wisdom of the Akashic field. Imagine a world where education is not just about transmitting information, but about nurturing the soul's journey and honoring the unique path of every individual. The Akashic records remind us that we are not separate from one another, and that our actions affect the collective whole. They call us to remember our interconnectedness and to act from a place of love, service, and compassion. As we awaken to the wisdom of the Akashic records, we become part of a global movement toward greater unity, peace, and understanding. Akashic records and the power of transformation. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Akashic records is their transformative power. These records are not merely a place of reflection, but a space for true spiritual evolution. When we access the Akashic records, we are given the opportunity to confront not just the events of our past, but the very patterns that have shaped our lives, patterns that may have been repeating for lifetimes. In the Akashic field, we can begin the process of healing old wounds, releasing past traumas, and dissolving the karmic debts that have followed us throughout many lifetimes. These records offer a chance for profound healing because they do not only reflect our past, they show us the potential for our future. The Akashic records present us with a vision of who we can become, the highest version of ourselves that is waiting to be realized. When we engage with the records, we are invited to make conscious choices that align with our soul's highest good. The transformation is not immediate, but it is lasting. The more we access the records, the more we align with our soul's purpose, the more we step into our true power as divine beings of light. The Akashic records do not give us a set path to follow. They give us the tools to find our own way, to heal, and to transform. The transformation that occurs through the Akashic records is not just internal, it is external as well. As we change, our relationships, careers, and life circumstances begin to shift in alignment with our new, higher self. The world around us mirrors the changes within us, and we begin to see the evidence of our transformation in every area of our lives. This power of transformation is available to everyone. The Akashic records do not belong to the select few. They are accessible to all who are ready to embark on the journey of self-discovery and healing. Through dedicated practice and openness to the process, anyone can tap into this vast well of wisdom and begin the process of profound transformation. Navigating the challenges of life, the Akashic records as a guide. Life is full of challenges, some expected, others unforeseen. We often find ourselves at crossroads, unsure of which direction to take or how to navigate the obstacles in our path. The Akashic records offer a unique and powerful tool for navigating life's challenges. They provide us with the wisdom to see beyond our current circumstances and to understand the deeper forces at play in our lives. When we turn to the Akashic records, we are not merely seeking answers to surface-level questions. We are seeking insight into the underlying patterns and energies that are influencing our lives. The records show us the root causes of our struggles, giving us the clarity to understand why we are facing certain challenges and how we can overcome them. They help us to see the bigger picture, to understand that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and transformation. In moments of uncertainty or doubt, the Akashic records serve as a guiding light, showing us the way forward with wisdom and compassion. They provide us with the tools we need to navigate the complexities of life, to make decisions that are in alignment with our soul's highest purpose. When we are faced with difficult choices, the records offer us the clarity to make decisions that are grounded in love, wisdom, and divine guidance. The Akashic records are not just a source of guidance for the individual, they are also a source of collective wisdom. When we tap into the Akashic field, we are not only accessing our personal soul's journey, but we are also tapping into the greater collective consciousness of humanity. This is why the records are such a powerful tool for healing, not just on an individual level, but on a global level as well. The Akashic records and the evolution of consciousness. The Akashic records are not merely a spiritual tool, they are a key to the evolution of consciousness itself. As we engage with the records, we are not only uncovering the details of our soul's journey, but also participating in the ongoing evolution of the collective consciousness of humanity. The records hold the wisdom of the past, the present, and the future, and they offer us a blueprint for the transformation of both the individual and the collective. Throughout history, the Akashic records have served as a repository for the wisdom of the ages, a place where the knowledge and experiences of countless souls have been recorded. But the purpose of these records is not simply to preserve the past, it is to facilitate the ongoing growth and evolution of the soul. As we access the Akashic records, we are invited to tap into a deeper level of awareness, to expand our consciousness, and to align ourselves with the highest potential of the human spirit. The Akashic records offer us the opportunity to transcend the limitations of the material world and connect with the divine essence that exists within us all. They show us that we are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it, and that every thought, every action, every choice we make has an impact on the greater whole. Through the Akashic records, we are reminded that we are creators of our own reality, and that our consciousness has the power to shape the world around us. In this way, the Akashic records are not just a tool for personal growth, they are a tool for the evolution of consciousness itself. As more individuals access the Akashic field, the collective consciousness of humanity begins to shift. We begin to awaken to our true nature, to the interconnectedness of all beings, and to the divine purpose that underlies the universe. This awakening is not just an individual experience. It is a global transformation, one that has the potential to shift the trajectory of human evolution. Akashic records and the global shift in consciousness. The Akashic records have always been accessible to those who seek them, but in recent years, we are witnessing a significant shift in human consciousness. As more people awaken to their spiritual potential and seek deeper truths, the Akashic records are becoming a more prominent tool for personal and collective transformation. This shift is not just happening on an individual level, it is part of a larger global shift in consciousness that is taking place. As humanity moves into a new era, one characterized by rapid technological advancement, social change, and a deepening spiritual awakening, the Akashic records are playing a crucial role in guiding this transformation. They offer a map for navigating the complexities of modern life, helping us to stay aligned with our soul's purpose and to make decisions that contribute to the greater good. The global shift in consciousness is not just about individual spiritual growth. It is about the awakening of humanity as a whole. As more individuals access the Akashic records, we begin to see a shift in the collective consciousness of the world. People are becoming more aware of their interconnectedness, more focused on service to others, and more committed to living lives of purpose and integrity. This shift is creating a new paradigm, one in which compassion, love, and spiritual wisdom guide our actions and decisions. The Akashic records are a tool for this transformation, offering guidance and clarity as we navigate this rapidly changing world. They remind us that we are not alone, that we are all part of the same cosmic fabric, and that the choices we make have far-reaching consequences. Through the Akashic records, we can access the wisdom we need to create a world that is more just, compassionate, and spiritually aligned. The Akashic records and the healing of humanity. As we explore the depths of the Akashic records, we begin to understand that their purpose goes beyond personal growth and spiritual enlightenment. They hold the potential to heal humanity as a whole. In a world marked by division, conflict, and suffering, the Akashic records offer us the wisdom we need to heal not just our individual wounds, but the wounds of the collective. The records provide insight into the karmic patterns that have shaped humanity's history, patterns of violence, greed, and separation. They show us how these patterns have been perpetuated over time and offer us the opportunity to release the old stories that no longer serve us. By healing these collective wounds, we can break free from the cycles of suffering and create a new path for humanity, one based on love, compassion, and unity. The Akashic records offer a vision of a world where all people are connected, where we see each other not as separate beings, but as expressions of the same divine essence. This vision is not just an idealistic fantasy, it is a reality waiting to be realized. Through the wisdom of the Akashic records, we can tap into the deep spiritual truths that bind us together and create a world where peace, harmony, and cooperation are the guiding principles. Healing humanity through the Akashic records is not just about spiritual practices, it is about a global awakening. It is about recognizing our shared humanity, healing the divisions that separate us, and embracing the truth of our interconnectedness. As more people awaken to the power of the Akashic records, we begin to see the potential for a global shift in consciousness, a shift that can bring about a new era of peace, understanding, and cooperation. Integrating the Akashic wisdom into daily life. While the Akashic records offer us profound spiritual wisdom and insight, their true power lies in their integration into our daily lives. The records are not just a tool for accessing knowledge about past lives or karmic patterns. They are a guide for living a more authentic, purposeful, and fulfilled life in the present moment. When we access the Akashic records, we are not just gathering information. We are receiving spiritual guidance that helps us navigate the complexities of modern life with grace and wisdom. The records provide us with clarity and direction, showing us how to align our actions with our soul's purpose and how to make choices that lead to greater happiness, peace, and fulfillment. Integrating the wisdom of the Akashic records into daily life is a practice, one that requires conscious effort and intention. It involves bringing the insights and guidance we receive from the records into our relationships, our work, and our personal growth. It means living with integrity, compassion, and mindfulness in every moment, recognizing that every thought, word, and action is a reflection of our soul's journey. As we learn to integrate the wisdom of the Akashic records into our daily lives, we begin to experience a deeper sense of connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. We start to see the divine presence in every aspect of life, and we begin to live more consciously and intentionally. The more we align with the Akashic wisdom, the more we embody the highest potential of our soul and contribute to the collective consciousness of humanity. The Akashic records as a gateway to higher consciousness. The Akashic records are not just a reflection of the past. They are a gateway to higher consciousness. When we access the records, we are entering a space beyond the limitations of our physical senses, a space where we can connect with the divine wisdom and cosmic truths that transcend our earthly understanding. The Akashic records offer us a direct connection to the highest levels of spiritual awareness, helping us to elevate our consciousness and expand our perception of reality. In this higher space, we begin to understand that reality is not limited to the material world we see with our eyes. The records show us that there are vast dimensions of existence beyond our immediate sensory experience, and that our consciousness is connected to these realms in ways we may not yet fully comprehend. The Akashic records help us to expand our awareness, to see beyond the surface of life, and to understand the deeper, spiritual truths that underlie all of creation. Accessing the Akashic records allows us to transcend the boundaries of the ego and the individual self. As we tap into the higher consciousness of the records, we begin to experience a sense of unity with all beings, all things, and all of existence. We realize that we are not separate from the world around us, but deeply interconnected with it. This realization helps us to break free from the illusions of separation and to experience the world from a place of oneness and divine unity. Through the Akashic records, we can access a higher perspective on life. We begin to see that the challenges we face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth and transformation. The records show us that every experience, no matter how difficult, is part of our soul's journey toward greater understanding, love, and light. As we align ourselves with this higher consciousness, we begin to live more consciously and intentionally, guided by the divine wisdom that resides within the Akashic field. The infinite wisdom of the Akashic records, a guide for all. The Akashic records are a profound resource of wisdom, and their knowledge is available to anyone who is open to receiving it. However, accessing this vast storehouse of spiritual knowledge is not a matter of merely asking for answers. It requires a deep willingness to engage with the records, to open one's heart and mind to the infinite wisdom that exists beyond the ego's desires and limitations. The process of accessing the Akashic records is deeply personal, and each individual's experience will be unique. For some, the records will appear in vivid symbolic imagery, while for others they may come as intuitive knowings, feelings, or insights. The key is to trust the process and allow the wisdom to flow through without resistance. The more we engage with the records, the deeper our understanding of our true nature becomes. While accessing the Akashic records is a spiritual practice, It is also a tool for practical guidance in our everyday lives. The wisdom contained within the records can help us make better decisions, heal emotional wounds, and navigate challenges with greater clarity and confidence. The records provide a map for living in alignment with our soul's purpose and a guide for living a life of service, love, and compassion. The Akashic records are not reserved for a select few. They are available to all who seek them with an open heart. Through the process of connecting with the Akashic field, we begin to remember who we truly are, divine beings of light and love, connected to all of existence. As more and more people access the records, we will see a global awakening, a collective remembering of our true spiritual nature, and a shift toward a world that is more aligned with the highest truths of the universe. The future of humanity through the Akashic records. As humanity stands at the crossroads of a new era, the Akashic records offer us a glimpse into the future, a future that is shaped not by fate, but by the collective choices of humanity. The wisdom contained within the Akashic field provides us with the guidance we need to create a future that aligns with our highest potential, a future where peace, love, and unity prevail. In this new age of awakening, the Akashic records are becoming a crucial tool for personal and collective transformation. They are not just a resource for individual growth, but a guiding force for humanity as a whole. The more people who access the Akashic field, the more we begin to awaken to our shared purpose and the interconnectedness of all beings. The future we create will depend on the choices we make today. The Akashic records help us to understand that we are not powerless in shaping the future. We are creators, co-creators with the divine, and through our choices, we have the power to shape the world around us. The records provide us with the wisdom to make choices that lead to the creation of a world that reflects our highest values, a world where love, compassion, and understanding are the guiding principles. As we align with the wisdom of the Akashic records, we become agents of change, helping to create a future that is more just, more peaceful, and more spiritually awakened. The records remind us that the future is not set in stone, but is a dynamic creation that can be shaped by our collective consciousness. Through our conscious choices and actions, we can create a future that is more aligned with the divine blueprint for humanity. The path to awakening through the Akashic records. The Akashic records offer us a clear path to spiritual awakening. They provide us with the keys to unlocking our highest potential and aligning with the divine plan for our lives. This path to awakening is not an easy one, and it requires dedication, commitment, and a willingness to face the parts of ourselves that we may have been avoiding. However, the rewards of this journey are immeasurable. Through the Akashic records, we are given the tools to recognize the patterns that have been holding us back, to release the fears and beliefs that limit our growth, and to step into our true power. The records provide us with the insight we need to understand our soul's purpose and the guidance to live in alignment with that purpose. As we follow this path, we begin to shed the layers of conditioning and false beliefs that have kept us stuck, and we begin to awaken to the truth of who we really are. The path to awakening through the Akashic records is not about seeking external validation or approval. It is about turning inward and discovering the divine wisdom that lies within us all. The records show us that we are already whole, already connected to the divine, and that our journey is one of remembering our true nature. As we remember, we begin to step into the fullness of our being and to live from a place of authenticity and love. This journey of awakening is not just about personal growth. It is about contributing to the collective awakening of humanity. As we awaken to our true selves, we help to awaken others. The Akashic records offer us the guidance we need to live a life of purpose, service, and love. And through this process, we contribute to the global shift in consciousness. Embracing the divine within, living in alignment with the Akashic wisdom. The ultimate gift of the Akashic records is the opportunity to live in alignment with our divine essence. The records are not just a tool for gaining insight into our past lives or spiritual path. They are a guide to living in full alignment with who we truly are. When we access the Akashic records, we are reminded of our true nature as divine beings of light and love. This reminder has the power to transform every aspect of our lives, from the way we think to the way we interact with others and the world around us. Living in alignment with the Akashic wisdom means living from a place of authenticity, compassion, and divine purpose. It means letting go of the illusions of the ego and embracing the truth of who we are at our core. The more we align with the Akashic records, the more we tap into our inner wisdom, and the more we begin to embody the qualities of love, peace, and understanding. This alignment is not about perfection. It is about embracing the process of becoming our highest selves. It is about recognizing that we are always evolving, always learning, and always growing. The Akashic records provide us with the tools and guidance to navigate this journey, helping us to release old patterns, heal emotional wounds, and step into the fullness of our potential. When we live in alignment with the divine wisdom of the Akashic records, we become more than just individuals living in the world. We become conduits of divine energy, channels through which the light of the universe can flow. We begin to see the interconnectedness of all beings and realize that we are not separate from the world around us. Every action we take, every word we speak, every thought we have is a reflection of our divine essence. As we embody this truth, we contribute to the collective awakening and help to create a world that reflects the highest truths of the universe. The Akashic Records, a living legacy for future generations. The wisdom contained within the Akashic Records is not just for us in this present moment. It is a legacy for future generations. When we access the Akashic Records, we are not just uncovering the past or understanding our personal spiritual journey. We are also contributing to the larger process of collective awakening. The actions we take today, the choices we make, the wisdom we embody, will ripple out into the future, influencing the lives of generations yet to come. The Akashic Records remind us that we are stewards of the earth, caretakers of the planet, and guardians of the future. Our choices today shape the world we leave behind for those who come after us. When we live in alignment with the divine wisdom of the records, we are not only living for ourselves, but for the greater good of all beings, past, present, and future. The legacy of the Akashic Records is one of love, light, and spiritual wisdom. As we connect with the records, we are tapping into a well of ancient knowledge that has been passed down through the ages. This knowledge is not just for us to hold, it is for us to share. As we embody the wisdom of the Akashic Records, we become carriers of this knowledge, passing it on to future generations and ensuring that the light of spiritual awakening continues to shine long after we are gone. The Akashic Records are a living legacy, a reminder that the choices we make today are not just for our benefit, but for the benefit of all humanity, both now and in the future. As we awaken to the wisdom of the records, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all generations and recognize our role in the ongoing evolution of consciousness. The Akashic Records as a source of infinite possibility. One of the most transformative aspects of the Akashic Records is their ability to reveal the infinite possibilities that lie before us. The records hold not just the stories of our past, but the potential of our future. They show us that the choices we make in the present moment shape the trajectory of our lives, and that every decision creates new pathways in the fabric of our reality. The Akashic Records remind us that we are not bound by fate or the limitations of our past experiences. Rather, we are co-creators of our reality, capable of making choices that align with our highest purpose and the divine plan for our lives. The records provide us with the tools to understand our soul's true potential and to realize the infinite possibilities that exist within us. Through the Akashic Records, we gain the clarity and insight needed to make decisions that align with our soul's path and open the doors to new opportunities and experiences. When we access the records, we are shown a vision of the future that is not fixed, but filled with endless potential. The records show us that the future is not a predetermined destiny, but a living, evolving possibility that is shaped by the choices we make. They reveal the many paths available to us, each one a reflection of the decisions we choose to take. The Akashic Records help us see that we are not limited by our past, but empowered by the infinite possibilities that lie before us. This sense of infinite possibility is a powerful reminder that we are creators of our own destiny. The Akashic Records show us that we are not merely passive observers of life, but active participants in the creation of our reality. By tapping into the wisdom of the records, we begin to recognize the power within us to shape the world around us and create a future that reflects our highest potential. The Akashic Records and the role of soul purpose in our lives. The Akashic Records are a powerful tool for understanding our soul's purpose and aligning our lives with that purpose. Each of us is born with a unique soul mission, a divine calling that is embedded in our being. The Akashic Records provide us with the insight we need to discover our soul's true purpose and to live in alignment with that purpose. When we access the Akashic Records, we gain clarity about why we are here on Earth and what we are meant to contribute to the world. The records show us the unique gifts and talents that we have been given, and they help us understand how we can use those gifts to fulfill our soul's mission. They provide us with the guidance we need to make decisions that are in alignment with our soul's path, and they help us navigate the challenges that arise as we pursue our divine purpose. The Akashic Records also show us the deeper lessons we are meant to learn in this lifetime. These lessons are not just about external achievements or material success. They are about spiritual growth, self-discovery, and the development of our highest qualities. The records help us understand the soul's journey, revealing the deeper truths about who we are and what we are meant to become. Living in alignment with our soul's purpose is the key to true fulfillment. The Akashic Records offer us the map to living a life of meaning and purpose, one that is in alignment with the divine plan for our lives. As we follow the guidance of the records, we begin to live a life that is truly our own, one that reflects our highest potential and contributes to the greater good of all. The role of faith and trust in the Akashic Records. To fully engage with the Akashic Records, one must cultivate a deep sense of faith and trust. These records are not something that can be accessed by mere intellectual understanding or effort. They require a surrendering of the ego, a willingness to trust in the process and in the divine guidance that flows through the records. Trusting in the Akashic Records is about allowing the flow of wisdom to come through without resistance, knowing that what is revealed will be for your highest good, even if it is not always what you expect. Faith in the Akashic Records also requires a trust in oneself. The records reflect our soul's journey, and in order to access them, we must trust that we have the ability to receive the wisdom that is meant for us. This trust is not blind faith. It is the trust that comes from knowing that we are connected to a higher source of wisdom and that we have the capacity to understand the guidance we receive. When we approach the Akashic Records with faith and trust, we create an open channel for the wisdom of the universe to flow into our lives. This wisdom does not come to us in random or chaotic ways, but in a way that is aligned with our soul's purpose and divine plan. As we trust the process and surrender to the guidance of the records, we begin to see our lives unfold in a way that feels aligned and purposeful. This deep faith in the Akashic Records also helps us to navigate the uncertainties of life. In times of doubt or confusion, we can turn to the records for clarity and direction, knowing that the answers we seek are already within us. The records remind us that we are not alone in our journey, and that the divine guidance we need is always available to us if we are open and willing to receive it. The Akashic Records and the importance of living with intention. Living with intention is one of the key principles that the Akashic Records teach us. The records show us that our lives are not random or accidental, but are guided by a higher purpose that is in alignment with the divine plan for our souls. Each of us is here for a reason, and the Akashic Records help us to understand that reason and to live in a way that is aligned with our soul's deepest desires and aspirations. When we live with intention, we bring a sense of purpose to every aspect of our lives. We make decisions with clarity and awareness, knowing that our choices have a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate circumstances. The Akashic Records help us to understand the deeper motivations behind our actions, and they encourage us to align those actions with our soul's true purpose. Living with intention also means living with mindfulness. The Akashic Records remind us that every moment is an opportunity to make a choice, to shift our energy, and to align ourselves with the highest good. When we live intentionally, we become conscious creators of our reality, actively shaping our experiences with the choices we make. The records also show us that living with intention is not just about achieving external goals. It is about living a life that is in alignment with our soul's highest potential. It is about honoring our spiritual journey and living authentically, with integrity and love. The more we live with intention, the more we align with the divine flow of the universe, and the more we contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. Akashic Records and the healing of the earth. The Akashic Records offer not only the potential for personal healing and transformation, but also the ability to heal the planet itself. As humanity continues to face environmental challenges, social unrest, and collective suffering, the Akashic Records provide us with the wisdom and guidance needed to restore balance and harmony to the earth. When we access the Akashic Records, we are not only connecting with our individual soul's journey, but we are also tapping into the collective consciousness of the planet. The records reveal the interconnectedness of all life, showing us that the earth is not a separate entity from us, but a living, breathing organism that we are intrinsically connected to. The health of the planet and the health of humanity are one and the same, and by healing ourselves, we heal the earth. The Akashic Records offer insights into the karmic patterns that have contributed to the destruction of the planet, revealing the unconscious beliefs and actions that have led to environmental degradation, exploitation, and imbalance. Through the records, we can uncover the root causes of these issues and work to release the negative energy and patterns that have contributed to the harm of the earth. In addition to understanding the past, the Akashic Records provide us with the guidance needed to create a more harmonious future. The records offer us wisdom on how to live in greater alignment with nature, how to honor the earth, and how to make choices that support the healing and restoration of the planet. By accessing the Akashic field, we begin to understand our role as stewards of the earth and the importance of living in harmony with all living beings. The healing of the earth through the Akashic Records is a collective endeavor. As more people access the records and awaken to their soul's purpose, we begin to shift the collective consciousness of humanity. This shift in consciousness is not only about individual healing, but about healing the planet and restoring balance to all of creation. The Akashic Records remind us that the earth is a sacred being, deserving of our love, respect, and care, and that through our actions, we can help bring about the restoration of the planet to its highest potential. The future of the Akashic Records, a path to collective enlightenment. The future of the Akashic Records is intertwined with the collective enlightenment of humanity. As more individuals awaken to their spiritual nature and begin accessing the Akashic field, we will witness a profound shift in the collective consciousness of the world. The records offer not only a path for personal enlightenment, but a pathway for global transformation. The future of the Akashic Records lies in their ability to help humanity remember its true nature, that we are all divine beings, interconnected and united in purpose. As more people tap into the wisdom of the records, we begin to break down the barriers that separate us and recognize that we are all part of the same divine consciousness. The Akashic Records will serve as a guiding force in the coming era, helping humanity to navigate the challenges of the modern world and to live in alignment with the highest spiritual truths. They will help us to remember the importance of love, compassion, and service, and guide us toward a future where these values are the foundation of society. As we continue to connect with the Akashic Records, we will awaken to the potential for collective enlightenment, where the wisdom of the records is accessible to all. This global awakening will create a new paradigm of peace, unity, and spiritual wisdom, and will guide us toward the creation of a world that reflects the divine plan for all beings. The future of the Akashic Records is not just about individual spiritual growth. It is about the collective awakening of humanity and the creation of a world that is aligned with the highest principles of love, light, and unity. As we continue to connect with the Akashic field, we step into a new era of enlightenment, where the wisdom of the universe is accessible to all, and where we work together to create a world that reflects our highest potential. The Akashic Records and the integration of light. As we continue on our journey of accessing and integrating the wisdom of the Akashic records, we begin to realize that their ultimate purpose is not just to provide knowledge, but to help us integrate the light of the divine into our daily lives. The Akashic records are a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realms, offering us the opportunity to embody the divine light that exists within all of us. When we connect with the Akashic records, we are essentially tapping into the universal source of light and wisdom that connects all beings in the cosmos. This divine light is not something external to us. It is already within us, waiting to be awakened. The records serve as a catalyst for this awakening, helping us to clear the blockages that prevent the light from fully expressing itself in our lives. Integrating the light of the Akashic records means living with greater awareness of our divine nature, recognizing that we are not just physical beings, but spiritual beings having a human experience. The more we align with this light, the more we begin to express our true potential and step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. This integration of light is not just about personal growth. It is about contributing to the collective shift in consciousness. As we embody the divine light within, we help to raise the frequency of the collective, contributing to the spiritual awakening of humanity. Each time we connect with the Akashic records and integrate their wisdom, we are adding our light to the collective consciousness, helping to illuminate the path for others. The light we receive from the Akashic records illuminates the way forward, guiding us on our journey towards self-realization, love, and compassion. It helps us see the world through the eyes of the divine, recognizing the interconnectedness of all life and the divine plan that governs the universe. As we integrate the light of the Akashic records into our lives, we become beacons of light for others, guiding them on their own spiritual path and contributing to the global awakening. The Akashic records and the call to action. The Akashic records are not just about receiving knowledge and wisdom, they are about taking action. They call us to live our lives in a way that is aligned with our soul's purpose and the divine plan. The records show us the path, but it is up to us to walk it. They provide the guidance, but it is up to us to take the steps required to fulfill our soul's mission. The Akashic records invite us to live with integrity, to act from a place of love and compassion, and to serve the greater good. They call us to be leaders in our communities, to be beacons of light in a world that often feels dark, and to contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. The records show us that our actions matter, that every choice we make, every word we speak, every action we take has an impact on the world around us. Living in alignment with the Akashic records requires us to take responsibility for our lives and our actions. It requires us to step into our true power and to be the change we wish to see in the world. The records show us that we are not powerless. We are powerful, divine beings capable of creating positive change in the world. Through our actions, we can bring about the transformation we seek, both in our own lives and in the world at large. The Akashic records call us to take action, not just for our own benefit, but for the benefit of all beings. They remind us that we are part of a larger cosmic plan, and that our actions contribute to the collective consciousness. When we live in alignment with the records, we are not just living for ourselves, but for the greater good of all. The Akashic records and the power of surrender. One of the most profound teachings of the Akashic records is the power of surrender. In a world where we are often taught to control, manipulate, and force outcomes, the records remind us that true power lies in surrendering to the flow of life. Surrender does not mean giving up or being passive. Rather, it means letting go of resistance and trusting in the divine guidance that flows through us. The Akashic records show us that when we let go of our need to control every aspect of our lives, we create space for the divine plan to unfold. They invite us to trust that the universe is always guiding us toward our highest good, even when we cannot see the full picture. Surrendering to the wisdom of the records allows us to release the heavy burdens of the ego and the fear of the unknown, and to embrace the flow of life with open arms. Through surrender, we align ourselves with the divine flow of the universe. The records help us understand that the path to our highest potential is not one of struggle, but of ease. When we surrender, we stop forcing outcomes and instead allow the universe to guide us where we are meant to go. The Akashic records help us to trust in the process, knowing that we are always supported by the universe and that everything is unfolding in perfect divine timing. Surrendering to the Akashic records also means letting go of our attachment to specific outcomes. Often, we hold on tightly to our desires and expectations, but the records show us that our soul's journey is not about achieving specific goals. It is about experiencing growth, transformation, and alignment with our higher self. Through surrender, we allow ourselves to be guided by the wisdom of the records, trusting that whatever unfolds is exactly what we need for our soul's evolution. The Akashic records and the path to unity. The Akashic records show us that at the heart of all spiritual teachings lies the truth of unity. The records reveal that we are all interconnected, that the boundaries we perceive between ourselves and others are merely illusions. When we access the Akashic records, we tap into the universal consciousness that connects all beings, and we are reminded that we are one with the universe and all of creation. Living in alignment with the Akashic records means living from a place of unity. It means recognizing that we are not separate from each other or from the earth, but that we are all part of the same divine consciousness. This understanding of unity helps us to transcend the divisions that separate us, whether those divisions are based on race, religion, nationality, or any other form of separation. The records invite us to see beyond the surface of things and to recognize the divine essence within every person, every creature, and every part of the earth. The Akashic records offer us the wisdom needed to bridge the gaps between us. They show us that true peace comes from recognizing our interconnectedness and acting from a place of compassion, love, and understanding. When we live in alignment with the wisdom of the records, we are able to see the world through the eyes of unity, and we begin to live in harmony with all beings. This path to unity is not just an individual journey, it is a collective one. The Akashic records call us to work together, to support each other, and to contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. As we live in alignment with the wisdom of the records, we become part of a larger movement toward global unity, where love and compassion guide our actions, and where the highest good of all beings is the foundation of our society. The Akashic records and the power of collective healing. One of the most profound aspects of the Akashic records is their ability to facilitate collective healing. While the records offer wisdom for individual growth and spiritual development, they also serve as a mirror for humanity as a whole, reflecting the collective wounds that we carry as a species. By accessing the Akashic records, we are not only healing ourselves, but also participating in the collective healing of humanity. The Akashic records show us the karmic patterns and energetic imprints that have shaped our collective history, revealing the shared traumas and wounds that have been passed down through generations. These records show us how the collective consciousness of humanity has been influenced by fear, separation, and conflict. However, the records also offer the opportunity to release these patterns and heal the wounds that have caused suffering for so long. Healing on a collective level is a profound process, one that requires deep awareness and intentional action. When we access the Akashic records, we are not only healing the wounds of our personal soul journey, but we are also contributing to the healing of the collective soul of humanity. This healing is essential for moving forward as a species, for releasing the old stories of fear and suffering that have limited our potential. The Akashic records help us understand that we are all interconnected, and that our actions, thoughts, and emotions affect the larger collective. By healing ourselves, we contribute to the healing of others. The more individuals who access the Akashic records and release their personal traumas, the greater the collective healing that can take place. As we work through our own healing process, we help to create a ripple effect that extends outward, touching others and contributing to the global shift in consciousness. The healing power of the Akashic records is not just an individual journey, it is a global movement toward peace, unity, and wholeness. Through collective healing, humanity can move beyond the pain of the past and step into a future of love, compassion, and understanding. The Akashic records and the divine flow of the universe The Akashic records are a conduit for the divine flow of the universe, offering us access to the universal consciousness that connects all beings. When we connect with the records, we are aligning ourselves with the divine flow, allowing the wisdom and energy of the universe to move through us. This divine flow is always present, but we often forget to tap into it. The Akashic records remind us of our connection to this flow, and they guide us in living in alignment with it. Living in alignment with the divine flow means letting go of resistance and trusting in the process of life. It means surrendering our attachment to the outcomes of our actions and trusting that the universe is always guiding us toward what is best for our soul's growth. The Akashic records help us understand that we are not separate from the divine flow, but that we are a part of it, and by aligning ourselves with this flow, we step into our highest potential. The records show us that the universe is always supporting us, always guiding us, and that everything we need is already within us. By aligning with the Akashic flow, we begin to experience life with greater ease, grace, and flow. We stop forcing things to happen and instead allow the universe to work through us, guiding us toward the highest good for ourselves and others. The Akashic records are a reminder that we are divine beings, always connected to the flow of the universe. As we align with this flow, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that the universe has to offer. The records help us tap into this divine energy and live in a way that is in harmony with the universal laws of love, light, and abundance. The Akashic records and the path to divine service. The Akashic records are not just a tool for personal growth, they are a call to divine service. As we access the records, we are reminded that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. Our souls have a divine mission that extends beyond our personal desires and ambitions, and the Akashic records help us to understand this mission and align with it. Divine service is not about seeking external recognition or fame. It is about living in alignment with the greater good, using our gifts and talents to serve others and contribute to the well-being of the world. The records show us that true fulfillment comes not from personal success, but from the joy that comes from serving others and making a positive impact in the world. When we access the Akashic records, we are shown how we can be of service in the world. The records provide us with guidance on how to live a life that is in alignment with our soul's mission and how to use our unique gifts to contribute to the collective good. Whether through our careers, our relationships, or our personal endeavors, the Akashic records guide us in how to serve with love, humility, and compassion. Living a life of divine service requires us to let go of the ego's desires for recognition, power, or wealth. It requires us to align with the higher calling of our soul and to act from a place of unconditional love and selflessness. The Akashic records help us navigate this journey, showing us how to live in a way that supports the greater good and uplifts humanity as a whole. Through divine service, we contribute to the global awakening. Each act of love, kindness, and compassion helps to raise the collective consciousness and bring about the transformation that humanity needs. The Akashic records remind us that we are all part of the divine plan, and that our actions, no matter how small, have a profound impact on the world around us. The Akashic records and the role of compassionate leadership. The Akashic records offer profound guidance on the role of leadership in the spiritual awakening of humanity. Leadership, from the perspective of the records, is not about power, control, or dominance. It is about serving others with compassion, humility, and love. The records remind us that true leaders are those who inspire others to connect with their highest potential and serve the greater good. Compassionate leadership is rooted in the understanding that all beings are interconnected, and that the well-being of one is the well-being of all. The Akashic records show us that effective leadership is not about asserting authority, but about creating a space for others to rise and shine in their own light. Compassionate leaders listen deeply, act with integrity, and lead with the intention of uplifting others. In the Akashic records, we learn that leadership is a spiritual responsibility. Leaders are called to guide others on their soul's journey, helping them to access their own inner wisdom and connect with their divine purpose. The records show us that true leaders empower others to step into their own greatness and help to create a world that reflects the highest principles of love, compassion, and unity. As we align with the wisdom of the Akashic records, we are all called to be compassionate leaders in our own way. Whether in our families, our communities, or our workplaces, we can lead by example, showing others how to live with love, integrity, and service. The Akashic records remind us that leadership is not about titles or positions. It is about being a channel for the divine and using our influence to create a better world for all. The Akashic records and the power of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that can transform our lives, and the Akashic records show us how deeply intertwined gratitude is with our spiritual journey. When we access the Akashic records, we gain a deeper understanding of the blessings we have received, both seen and unseen, and are reminded of the abundance that exists within and around us. Gratitude opens the door to the flow of divine energy. The records help us see that every experience, even the challenging ones, has something to teach us. They encourage us to approach life with a mindset of gratitude, recognizing that everything we encounter is part of our soul's path and has value. The more we cultivate gratitude, the more we open ourselves to receiving the blessings that the universe has in store for us. When we live with gratitude, we align ourselves with the divine flow of abundance. The Akashic records show us that we are not separate from the abundance of the universe. We are an integral part of it. Gratitude helps us recognize our connection to the universal flow of love, light, and energy, and it allows us to experience the richness of life in all its forms. Living with gratitude also means acknowledging the gifts we have received from others and from the earth. The Akashic records remind us that we are not alone in our journey. We are supported by the love and wisdom of the divine, as well as by the contributions of those around us. As we give thanks for these gifts, we align ourselves with the higher energies of the universe and create a positive ripple effect that extends out into the world. Gratitude is a spiritual practice that deepens our connection to the divine and to each other. When we embrace gratitude in our daily lives, we become more attuned to the beauty and blessings around us, and we begin to live in greater harmony with the universe. The Akashic records encourage us to live with an attitude of deep appreciation for the gifts of life, and through this practice, we contribute to the collective consciousness of humanity. The Akashic records and the path of enlightenment. The Akashic records are a powerful tool for spiritual enlightenment. They are not just a source of knowledge, but a doorway to a higher state of consciousness. The records help us access the divine wisdom that resides within us, allowing us to transcend the limitations of the ego and the material world. Through the records, we begin to understand our true nature as divine beings of light, and we are reminded that enlightenment is our birthright. The path of enlightenment is not an external journey, but an internal one. The Akashic records show us that the truth we seek is already within us, waiting to be revealed. The records help us uncover the layers of conditioning, fear, and limiting beliefs that obscure our connection to the divine. As we peel away these layers, we begin to awaken to the light that is within us, and we step into a higher state of consciousness. The Akashic records provide the guidance we need to navigate the spiritual path, showing us the steps required to align with our soul's purpose and connect with the divine. The records reveal the lessons we need to learn, the obstacles we must overcome, and the gifts we are meant to share with the world. As we walk this path of enlightenment, we begin to embody the qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, and grace. Enlightenment is not about achieving a specific goal or attaining a certain state. It is about awakening to our true nature and living in alignment with the divine. The Akashic records help us understand that enlightenment is a process, not an endpoint, and that each step we take brings us closer to the truth of who we are. Through the Akashic records, we are given the tools to transform our consciousness, to release the old stories that hold us back, and to step into the light of our true self. The Akashic records and the role of intuition in spiritual growth. Intuition plays a pivotal role in our spiritual growth, and the Akashic records offer us profound insights into how to cultivate and trust our intuitive abilities. The records help us understand that intuition is not just a random or fleeting feeling. It is a direct connection to the divine wisdom that resides within us. By tuning into our intuition, we open ourselves to the guidance and wisdom of the Akashic field, allowing us to align with our soul's path and make decisions that are in harmony with our highest good. When we access the Akashic records, we are essentially tuning into a higher frequency of energy, one that is guided by divine intelligence. This intelligence speaks to us through our intuition, offering subtle nudges and insights that guide us along our journey. The more we trust our intuition and follow its guidance, the more we align with the divine flow and begin to experience a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. The Akashic records show us that intuition is not just an individual experience. It is a collective tool that connects us to the universal consciousness. Our intuitive insights are not only meant to guide us, but they also serve as a way to connect with others and with the greater wisdom of the universe. As we open ourselves to the Akashic records and trust in our intuition, we are able to tap into the collective wisdom of humanity, which allows us to contribute to the global awakening and healing of the world. Living in alignment with our intuition means living in harmony with the divine flow of the universe. The Akashic records help us understand that our intuition is a powerful tool for spiritual growth and personal transformation. It is through our intuitive connection to the Akashic field that we can access the wisdom of our soul's journey, release old patterns, and step into our highest potential. The Akashic records and the power of self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the most important tools we can develop on our spiritual journey, and the Akashic records offer us profound insight into how to cultivate this awareness. The records reveal the patterns, behaviors, and beliefs that shape our experiences, allowing us to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our soul's journey. Through the Akashic records, we are able to see ourselves from a higher perspective, recognizing the divine essence within and understanding the lessons we are meant to learn in this lifetime. The more we engage with the Akashic records, the more we develop self-awareness. The records show us where we are in alignment with our soul's purpose and where we may be off course. They reveal the unconscious patterns and beliefs that are holding us back, allowing us to release them and step into a higher state of consciousness. Self-awareness is the first step in the process of transformation, and the Akashic records provide us with the clarity we need to make changes in our lives that align with our soul's highest potential. Living with self-awareness means living with intention and mindfulness. The Akashic records help us understand that every choice we make, every thought we have, and every action we take has an impact on our lives and on the world around us. By becoming more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, we are able to make more conscious choices that lead us toward our highest good. The records show us that self-awareness is the key to unlocking our true potential and living a life that is aligned with the divine. As we develop greater self-awareness, we become more attuned to the divine wisdom within us. The Akashic records help us access this wisdom, allowing us to make decisions that are in harmony with our soul's path and the divine plan. Through self-awareness, we become conscious creators of our reality, using the wisdom of the Akashic records to shape our lives in alignment with the highest spiritual truths. The Akashic records and the path of transcendence. The Akashic records are not only a tool for understanding our past, present, and future, they are also a path toward transcendence. Through the wisdom and guidance found within the Akashic field, we are invited to transcend the limitations of the ego, the mind, and the material world. The records show us that our true nature is not bound by the physical world or by the constraints of time and space. Rather, we are infinite beings of light and consciousness, capable of experiencing and creating realities beyond what we can currently imagine. Transcendence, as revealed by the Akashic records, is not an escape from the world. It is a deeper immersion into the truth of who we really are. The records show us that our soul's journey is one of evolution, not only toward personal enlightenment, but also toward collective awakening. As we transcend the limitations of the ego and the material world, we come to realize that we are one with all that is, connected to the divine essence that flows through all beings and all of creation. The path of transcendence through the Akashic records is one of liberation from the illusions of separation and limitation. As we access the records, we are invited to release old patterns, beliefs, and attachments that keep us trapped in cycles of suffering. The records show us that true freedom comes from understanding the interconnectedness of all life and aligning with the higher consciousness that unites us all. In this state of transcendence, we are no longer bound by the fears, doubts, and limitations that once held us back. Instead, we are free to experience life from a place of love, wisdom, and divine power. Transcendence is a state of being, not just an intellectual understanding. It is a living experience that becomes more real with each step we take on our spiritual journey. The Akashic records guide us in this process, offering us the tools and wisdom needed to rise above the ego's attachments and align with our soul's highest purpose. Through transcendence, we are not just reaching for a higher state of consciousness, we are embodying that consciousness in every moment, in every action, and in every aspect of our being. The Akashic records and the wisdom of the ages. The Akashic records contain the wisdom of the ages. They are a living repository of all the knowledge, experiences, and lessons that have been accumulated throughout the history of humanity and beyond. The records contain not only the stories of our individual souls, but also the collective wisdom of all beings who have ever existed. When we access the Akashic records, we are tapping into this vast storehouse of knowledge, which allows us to gain insights into the lessons of the past, the present, and the future. The wisdom of the Akashic records is not just intellectual knowledge, it is experiential, deeply rooted in the consciousness of the soul. The records offer us profound insights into the nature of existence, the interconnectedness of all life, and the divine purpose behind our individual and collective journeys. They help us understand the underlying truths that govern the universe and offer us the guidance we need to align with these truths in our lives. As we access the wisdom of the Akashic records, we are invited to integrate this knowledge into our daily lives. The records provide us with the tools to live with greater awareness, purpose, and clarity. They show us how to release old patterns, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve us, and how to step into a higher state of consciousness that is aligned with our soul's mission. The wisdom of the records is timeless. It is a reflection of the eternal truths that exist beyond time and space, and it offers us the opportunity to awaken to the divine potential within us all. Through the Akashic records, we gain access to the collective wisdom of the universe, which helps us to grow spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. The records guide us in our journey towards self-realization and enlightenment, offering us the knowledge and insights we need to live lives that are aligned with our highest spiritual purpose. By accessing the Akashic records, we tap into the wisdom of the ages, and we are reminded that we are part of a greater divine plan, a plan that is unfolding with perfect harmony and divine timing. The Akashic records, a journey beyond time and space. As we draw closer to the end of this exploration into the depths of the Akashic records, we are reminded that this journey is far from over. The Akashic records are not just a destination. They are a living, breathing portal, continually unfolding new layers of wisdom, insight, and possibility. With every question we ask, every piece of guidance we receive, and every lesson we integrate, we move further along the path of spiritual awakening. The records show us that time and space are illusions. Our true essence exists beyond these limitations, connected to all that is, was, and ever will be. As we access the Akashic field, we tap into the eternal flow of divine wisdom, and with each new revelation, we come closer to remembering the truth of who we are and our connection to the universe. Yet as we discover more, we realize that there is always more to uncover. The Akashic records are infinite, endlessly vast and expansive, revealing new layers of truth with each passing moment. What we have explored here is just a glimpse, a small piece of the infinite wisdom that awaits us. The records hold the answers to questions we have yet to ask, the keys to challenges we have yet to face, and the guidance for the steps we have yet to take on our spiritual journey. So while this chapter may be coming to an end, the journey of the Akashic records is just beginning. The wisdom of the records is always available to us, and every time we open ourselves to their guidance, we discover something new. As we continue to dive deeper into the Akashic field, we invite you to join us in the next chapter of this journey, a chapter filled with further revelations, transformative insights, and divine connections. The Akashic records are not a destination, but a living, breathing process. And as we continue on this path together, we will unlock even greater truths, elevate our collective consciousness, and step into a new era of spiritual enlightenment.